Hello and welcome back to our video series on learning to play the Pokemon trading card game. My name is Professor Ehrin, and in this video we're going to go over the setup and what a typical turn looks like in the Pokemon trading card game. Before we get started, let's make sure we have everything we need. So I have a 60 card deck that has at least one basic Pokemon. I have some dice I'm going to use for damage counters. I have a coin to flip. I have markers for burn and poison. And I have a GX marker that I'm just going to go ahead and leave up here in the upper left-hand corner of my mat. That's everything I need. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to flip a coin to see who goes first. So one player is going to flip a coin or roll a rolling die, and the other person is going to call it while it's in the air. So let's say my opponent picks heads. I'm going to flip, and it fell off the table, so we're going to flip again. We're going to flip. And it is heads, so my opponent gets to choose if they want to go first or second. Now if you go first, you get to evolve first. However, you may not play a supporter on your first turn, and you may not attack during your first turn. So there are some advantages and disadvantages to going first or second. So let's say my opponent decides he wants to be able to attack, so he decides to go second, so that would leave me going first. From that point, we're both going to shuffle our decks. And after you're done shuffling, you want to offer it to your opponent to give your opponent a chance to shuffle, cut, or tap your deck. They can shuffle your deck themselves, or they can cut your deck, or they can just tap your deck. If they cut or tap your deck is done. You can leave it. However, if they shuffle your deck, you are allowed to cut your own deck again. But after the deck has been cut, it no longer can be moved. All right, from that point, let's go ahead and set my deck over here. You want to draw the first 7 cards face down. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You want to take a look at those cards and see if you got a basic Pokemon or not. And it doesn't look like I did. So if you didn't get a basic Pokemon, you want to show your hand to your opponent and let them know, I didn't get a basic. You get what's called a mulligan. So what they're going to do is they're going to finish setting up, and after they're done, they're going to be able to draw another card for every mulligan that you do. So every time you draw 7 cards at the opening hand and you don't have a basic, they have another opportunity to draw a card. You want to wait, though, until the very end, till you're done, and decide how many mulligan cards you want to take at the end. So if I mulligan 10 cards, you may not want to draw 10 cards, so you may say, I only want to draw 3 cards. However, if you start drawing cards and don't designate a number, you have to draw all of your mulligan cards. So I'm going to go ahead and shuffle again. After I'm done shuffling, I'm going to offer it to my opponent so they can cut or tap. After the deck has been cut, I'm going to draw my first 7 cards. And see if I got a basic this time. I did. I got 1 basic. It's a Grookey. So I'm going to play that face down in the active spot. If I had another basic, I could play it face down on the bench, up to 5 bench spaces. Next, I'm going to take the next 6 cards and lay them out to the side as my prize cards. Once both players are set up, you go ahead and reveal your active Pokemon as well as any Pokemon that may be on the bench, and then the first player starts their turn. Now, since the other player decided they wanted to go first, or wanted to go second, I'm going first. So let's take a look at my hand here. So the first thing we're going to do is draw a card. At the beginning of every turn, you draw a card. And I have a few options here. So there are a number of things you can do during your turn. You can play a trainer card. You can play as many items as you want. You can play 1 supporter, 1 stadium. However, since I went first, and this is my first turn, I may not play the supporter. You can evolve any Pokemon that were already in play. Since this is my first turn, I can't evolve anything. You can also attach energy. I'm going to go ahead and do that now. I'm going to attach this energy to this Grookey. You can retreat. So that would mean discard the retreat cost from the Grookey, move it to the bench, and promote a new active. But since I don't have anything active, I have no reason to do that. But I am going to play some items. So I'm going to start by playing this Great Ball. It says, look at the top 7 cards of your deck, and you may reveal a Pokemon you find there and put it into your hand and shuffle the other cards back into your deck. So I'm going to look at the top 7, and I got this Thwackey. So I'm going to go ahead and take Thwackey out of there. I'm going to put Thwackey into my hand, and I'm going to shuffle those other cards back in. Again, after I'm done shuffling, I'm going to offer my deck to my opponent so he can shuffle, cut, or tap. Then I'm going to discard the item that I used, and I'm going to go ahead and play another Great Ball. See what else I can get here. And I'm going to go ahead and grab another Grookey. And again, I'm going to shuffle. That Grookey I'm going to put into my hand, but then I'm going to immediately put him onto the bench. That's another thing you can do, is bench any basic Pokemon that you have. And I'm going to go ahead and play that third Great Ball while I have it. This is a good time to do that. And I got another Thwackey. So I'm going to go ahead and take that Thwackey and put it into my hand. Shuffle these cards. And since I can't attack, I'm going to go ahead and pass my turn. Now let's say my opponent plays his turn and it's back around to me. So again, the first thing I'm going to do every time is I'm going to draw a card. I drew this Lucky Egg. It says if this Pokemon card is knocked out by damage from an opponent's attack, draw cards until you have 7 cards in hand. So I'm going to use that kind of to protect my Grookey. He can knock me out, but that allows me to draw some extra cards. I'm also going to go ahead and evolve both of my Grookeys into Thwackeys, and you do that by just laying the next stage evolution onto the card. So we evolved from Grookey to Thwackey. Alright, and I'm going to go ahead and play this Netball. It says search your deck for a basic grass Pokemon or basic grass energy card, reveal it and put it into your hand, and then shuffle your deck. I'm going to use that. And I'm going to search for a grass energy. I'm going to go ahead and attach that there. Now I can still play a supporter for turn, but I don't want to do that. I have one supporter in my hand, this Pokekid, and there's a Rillaboom that I really want to get next turn. So I'm just going to wait and hold on to this for now. So at this point, I would use my beat attack for 30. So that's what basically every turn looks like. You start your hand, or start your turn by drawing a card, and then you can retreat, you can play a basic Pokemon, you can evolve a Pokemon that was already in play, you can play as many items as you want, you can play a supporter card, you can use abilities, and then the very last thing you're going to do is attack or pass. If you attack, then you follow the attack. This would do 30 damage to my opponent's Pokemon. Or if I passed, that would just end my turn. Thank you for watching, and have a wonderful day.